Some colleges across the country are mandating vaccines before students come back to in-person schooling. And Charlie Kirk is not happy about that because unfortunately, simple things like masks and vaccines have turned into part of the culture war narrative for conservatives who have nothing else to offer the American people. So here's Tucker Carlson speaking to Charlie Kirk about this very issue.
If you have concerns about the vaccine, which by the way, a lot of people do, including Dr. Malone and Brett Weinstein, you should be able to opt out of the vaccine, especially if you're an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old, where you are the lowest risk cohort in the entire country of dying from the Chinese coronavirus. The stories are mounting of young people that have got the vaccine and then have unusual health events afterwards. At Turning Point USA, we are going to give it everything we have to make sure that students are not going to have to live in a medical apartheid because they don't want to get the vaccine.
Medical apartheid. We'll come back to that in just a second. I just want to note though, Charlie Kirk saying like a lot of people are concerned about the vaccine. Even the IDW member Brett Weinstein is worried about the vaccine. Oh, is Brett Weinstein worried about the vaccine? Well, that must be something. Okay, what does Dave Rubin think?
It's like me saying, no, a lot of people are concerned about that. It's like Anna Kasparian is concerned about it. No,
but that matters.
Okay, well, that's true.
Okay.
No, the point is that of course we agree, right? Although we don't always. So anyways, look, other than his Zoolander haircut, let's focus on the issue here. And I actually think this one is slightly nuanced, okay? So the schools are saying, hey, we got to keep everybody safe. So we want everybody to get the vaccine. Well, that makes sense, right? And remember, there's a lot of money on the line for the schools too. So if a little bit of a, if it breaks out on their campus, they might have to shut down the dining hall, for example. Then they're gonna lose a ton of money that they make from the dining hall. So I'm just keeping it real on some of the economic issues here and stuff. Then I always think like, what if the shoe was on the other foot? And I hope you guys do that too in politics, so we can develop empathy for each other and be fair, right? So what if the Monsanto wanted me to take a pill and I didn't want to take the pill, but they were saying, no, it's for public health. Okay, well here, a lot of the schools have said you don't have to do the vaccine if you're taking the classes from home online. To which I say, of course you should have that option. What do I care if you took the vaccine or not if you're at home and you're not in class and you're not on campus, right? So they're providing a second option too. Now again, every school differs here, but we're talking about on average. And they're saying, no, but then if you don't take the vaccine, then come in and get tested every week to make sure that you're not sick. And that's super fair. And if you say, I don't want to get tested and I don't want to wear a mask and I don't want to do the vaccine, okay, well then you're endangering people and that's not fair, right?
Right.
I think you could put up guidelines that make sense for everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think it's important to know where universities and colleges stand on this issue right now because there's no uniform policy, right? It really differs state to state, school system to school system, or university system to university system. For instance, a database maintained by the Chronicle of Higher Education indicates that more than 360 public and private colleges across the United States will require students to get a coronavirus vaccine, and experts expect more schools to follow suit. Now, in addition to individual colleges announcing vaccine mandates, some large university systems are also requiring these vaccines, such as the State University of New York system, others such as the 23 campus California State University system, Go Matadors, plan to adopt mandates pending full approval by the FDA of at least one coronavirus vaccine. So they're kind of holding. And then other colleges are, kind of like waiting to see what happens. Like, all right, well, what can we do? Because to be fair, I mean, if we want to have a nuanced conversation about this, which I think is worth having, yeah, there are HIPAA regulations, right? I think privacy is a concern, but this is an issue of public safety and public health. So you got to do a cost benefit analysis. And even right now, unfortunately, what we're experiencing in some states, including in Los Angeles, is again, now a new uptick in coronavirus cases as a result of the Delta variant and as a result of people refusing to get vaccinated. So this is a conversation worth having, which immediately gets, I guess, thrown off track when you start using ridiculous language like this is an apartheid. No, this is not an apartheid. Like the hysterical nature of conservative rhetoric on this issue is frustrating and incredibly stupid.
Yeah, so now here's something else that's stupid. You know, you already have to take vaccines to go to college in most of these places for, like, for example, for measles. So they're like, oh, measles, that's totally fine. Oh, the Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson politicized the coronavirus vaccine, which actually is much more relevant today. No, that's the vaccine I'm against. All of a sudden, freedom. Freedom. Well, what happened to all the other vaccines you were taking to go to the same school? So much of this is nonsense. And then let's point out, so let's get this right. According to conservatives, what Israel's doing is not apartheid, even though they're actually taking a group of people and occupying them and not letting them have rights and not letting them have their own country and separating them based on race and religion, right? But saying, hey, can you please get the vaccine so we don't all die is apartheid. Interesting.
Now, the second part of this features Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson responded to Charlie Kirk's allegations that a vaccine mandate on college campuses is an awful thing. Like he doesn't like it, right? And so what's interesting is how he responds to these allegations, but more importantly, like the language he uses in making it clear that he has absolutely no self-awareness when it comes to people having agency over their own bodies. Let's watch.
It's beyond belief. I mean, this is exactly what they told us right-wingers, once they took over the government in The Handmaid's Tale, were gonna do to the country. They would force you to put things in your body that you didn't want. They had full control over your body. You no longer had dominion over your body.
Yeah, kind of like conservatives trying to ensure that women have no control over their bodies when it comes to their reproductive health and their reproductive choices. Now, I mean, Tucker Carlson, I mean, he's an honest actor, right? Yeah, he wouldn't be the kind of person who would be a hypocrite on this matter, right? And Candace Owens, she's also very consistent on these types of issues. She said something very similar about the vaccine. She said, not one person in my family will ever touch the COVID-19 vaccine. That is the decision that we have made unabashedly as a family. Medical freedom is an individual right that should never be infringed upon, and any person who thinks otherwise has no place in our government. Fascinating.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.